All right, it is February 15th, 2022. I always said, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Hard cash in your possession. You got $1,000 to your name. It's in your bank account. You might have some with you. You can't afford gold. I'm pretty sure you can afford a few ounces of silver, maybe cut out Starbucks or whatever else there is that you can easily afford not to go. Cut out. And have it in your possession. Yes, some cryptos as well on your personal ledger. I'm not a big fan of that, to be overweight in it because of the middleman, which is the internet. He can be shut off just by a click of a switch. Governments own the internet. They own it. They control it. You can have all your XRPs, Moneros, decentralized, blah, blah, blah. At least a smart move would be, like I said, to be on your personal ledger. So you have your own keys instead of being on these exchanges, because you can tweet, let's say, hashtag freedom on Twitter, and your social credit score will go lower and they'll freeze your bank account. What's going on? What's happening to Canadians right now? I'm just I'm very surprised that Canadians did not see this coming. I mean, I read a lot of comments on social media. They seem like they're just in shock that this is going on. Well, if you have universal health care, Canada has been under this basically full-blown socialism for I don't know how long. You let that socialism stick around, you get communism. That's what they got right now. You get communism, you get man-made famine. That's why they have shortages of workers deliberately to create shortages of meat, because shortages of workers have put pressure to have all these chickens euthanized in Canada. We're talking millions and millions of chickens. So they were just going through that issue not long ago. This is just another part of what communism does. In UK, slaughtered pigs because of shortages of workers. Why do we have shortages of workers? Because we decide to pay people not to go to work, and we create mass hysteria through this so-called deadly pandemic. Why do you think this is all happening? In United States, I touched up on this not long ago in one of my videos. Milk cows, slaughter of milk cows. That's why you see shortages of half and half in certain other dairy products, and prices of milk continuing to go up, skyrocketing. Because milk cows are being led to slaughter because of shortages of workers. Nobody can literally milk these cows. And when I say nobody, we're talking like a vast majority of people are just missing in action. They were getting paid to stay home, to not come to work. And now people have slight headache and they decide not to go to work. They rush to get tested, hoping they test positive, so that way they can get paid for staying at home. I mean, you seriously, like some people say, you can't make this up, you really can't. Yeah, so if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Canadians, a lot of them are caught off guard. I hope you're not, because that's coming here in the United States. It already happened to a lot of people, but it's just kind of under the radar. I talked about it. General Flynn, if you remember, whether you are on the right or on the left, you know, on this channel, I can care less. This guy was in jail for a few days or whatever happened. Then he was let go, not enough evidence for whatever he was accused. But the bank still decided to freeze his bank account. Chase decided to just lock him out of his banks. He had to go to bank with someone else. Okay, fine. I'm sure he found some other bank, but that was already happening. What if the other banks say no too? Most of these bankers hang out together anyways. I'm pretty sure he went with some local smaller bank down maybe in Texas or something, and he's able to bank with. I mean, this is just, look what happened to Alex Jones. He talked about everything you're seeing today. And they did it to him in the divided states of America. And now you got Canadians trying to rush through the border to come here in United States. Like this is going to be any better soon. This channel is not to scare you. It is just to prepare you. It's common sense. You let socialism stick around for too long, you get communism. Once communism is officially here, you will have man-made famine. I said I was going to make a video regarding food. I know a lot of people now, a lot of farmers. I talk to a lot of managers in food industry and all that stuff. And I do read a lot of blogs when it comes to food industry, and farmers are being pushed out through of course, corporate America taking over. They're filing for bankruptcies left and right. It's been pretty rough out there. They're seeing shortages of goods that they need to maintain, let's say, their farms and stuff. Shortages of equipment, missing parts, chips for tractors. Maybe not chips for tractors, but we noticed missing parts when it comes to car industry. The auto industry has been just a mess. But you know what? GM stock was going up, Ford stock, no big deal, right? Oh man, these lots, you see like 30%, in some cases 70% just empty. But you know, I guess they got all these sales going on, right? Used car sales, used cars prices going to the moon. Why? Because people are buying used cars. They can't afford new cars, and if they can't afford it, it's not available because of chip shortages. I mean, what a freaking mess. Just, you guys know, car industries, that's basically like one of the biggest indicators when it comes to economy. If you see issues there, not many sales, people can't afford them, that's a big sign. We, in this case right now, already entered official recession, even though for the most part we have been. It's just a lot of people were not aware of anything because they were drinking, you know, booming economy Kool-Aid from Trump, and now Biden tweeting all these charts that puts him at the pedestal. I mean, at the top of it, of course. This is just all political games, and very dangerous for working class. You have got to continue preparing, have things that I talked about in your possession. If it comes down to government coming to your door, knocking doors down and taking your possessions, well, it is what it is at that point. You know, it's total banana republic. But for right now, you better be able to become and be your own central bank, okay? There is a saying, it comes from Romans. If it's true or not, the quote is for sure accurate because it's just history, but we don't know exactly if it came from Romans. It says, the closer the end of an empire, the crazier its laws. We have been looking right before our eyes the debasement of every single currency, meaning theft of your purchasing power, okay? That happens through expansion of currency, okay? So you got all these currencies that are racing, that have been racing to the bottom. So right now, governments know this, and they are making all these laws as crazy as they come before complete collapse. It is happening. The question is it imminent? It's inevitable, but is it imminent? That's kind of where we're at. How long is the dollar going to hold up? And what I mean by holding up is just being better than other currencies, right? But we know what's been going on with the dollar, especially if you live in the United States of America. If you live in Europe and you own units of dollar, you're doing a lot better. You live in Argentina, you own dollars, you're doing good. Dollar is losing its purchasing power, but it's doing a lot better than let's say euro, so you can buy more goods with the dollars. But if you live in United States, this is what a lot of people kind of like miss because of the headlines that read all the time: strong dollar index, the Dixie's going up or something like that. But you go to the store, you're like, shit, how is the Dixie going up when cart of groceries, it's costing me 20% more than it used to? Right now, by the way, to finish the video off, I don't want to make it too long. You might want to look at your bill, whatever it is that you're paying, because there is a lot of fees that they are adding on these bills. So they're not making it look like they're actually raising prices on you so fast. So they're adding all these insane fees. You'll see like extra 5%, 3%, 10%. And they're also not taxing you, right? Because if they tax you, they might be worried about revolution. So let's just put all these fees. Let's tax you through inflation. And let's continue having people being completely dumbed down. I hope you're not one of those. And again, I want to repeat this. This channel is not to scare you. It is to prepare you. We haven't seen anything yet. This is just the beginning of a complete mess that's coming up. You got to shield your family away from cities. It's not too late. You got to do something about it. I don't care how hard it is. It's going to be a lot harder if you don't. You got to surround yourself with people you trust. That's very important, to surround yourself with people you trust. And if you go to places like this, for instance, and you're a little bit further up the road, you won't see these paramilitary, if you call them, groups or thugs going around here. They're going to go into cities where older ladies work, and they're going to break windows at the jewelry stores and do that. You won't see that around here. Why? Because there is a lot of signs that read, keep out, no trespassing. Everybody's locked and loaded in the country, okay? So you won't see 20 thugs going around even towards the house when there is maybe just a single family there, because they know what could happen as they even get closer. So you got to put all this into perspective, slowly work on it every single day. I mentioned it before. I think a lot of people find this very helpful, because I got a lot of messages inbox on Twitter at the New America 77. So I appreciate that. Thank you all. To give suggestion to look for remote positions before all of these mandatory jabs came into place. For some people, they did not want to get jabbed. They were saying, so what do you do in this case? They have us from every angle. I said, yes, they have you. They have all of us. But you can maybe take a pay cut, maybe 30-40% pay cut. But you can get cheaper rent, mortgage in the country somewhere, and get a remote position, completely switch your title or whatever, make less, but your rent is less, but at least you're safe, you got more freedom, you got more land. To look for these remote positions working for smaller companies that don't even bother looking into all these restrictions, mandates that we are and have been dealing with all this time now, approaching 2 years now. So yeah, there's always ways to make it better. You just got to keep digging. And that would be it for today. This is now 13 minutes, probably my longest video ever. So I will stop right now, but I'm getting very concerned with what's going on, especially for those who are continuing to be asleep and then looking to be caught off guard when I mean, come on, don't be like them. Get yourself set up yesterday. I'm out.